Welcome to Connecting the Dots, the official Securitas podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first Connecting the Dots podcast version. I'm Marina Mancio, hosting today a very interesting episode with our first guest ever, Mauro Silva, to talk about the importance of a strong brand in a digital world. Hi, Mauro. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. And thanks for having me here, Marina. I'm really excited about this.
This is so cool, right? Our first episode of a podcast. This is nice. So to start with, what can you tell us about brand in a digital world?
Well, hopefully I can tell you many things. Because the whole thing is the world of branding has changed a lot over the last years. I mean, in today's world where everyone is always connected and have instant access to people, search, information, and products and services are suggested to you through different algorithms. If you don't have a strong brand, a brand that people are loyal to, a brand that is associated with a certain number of important values, a brand that people feel connected to and want to be part of it, I mean, you are on your way out of business. More and more clients are interested on the why they should buy from you. There's so many options, not only from a functional perspective, but also from an emotional perspective. And in this new world of so many options, people will tend to buy from brands that they feel connect to on a personal level. They want brands that stand for what they believe in, and also, mainly younger generations. They want to buy from brands that are having a positive impact on people's lives and societies. And that completely changed the game. It's not only about pricing or delivering anymore. It becomes something else. And lots of companies are struggling with this new reality.
I can totally see that. But if we just said now that why is the most important part of this whole journey, what then are the different types of brands that we have in the market nowadays?
I mean, that's a very good question, because as I mentioned, there are so many brands in the market right now. But I think we can divide the brands in three different types. Okay? So I will go through each of them. The first ones are the premium brands, right? And a premium brand is a brand that's normally positioned to have extreme high quality, and the price of their products and service are in average 20% more expensive than the overall competitors. Right? They give this impression of exclusivity, of something that you can't get from other brands in the market. But what is really important to mention here is that a premium brand is a combination of price and high quality. So the price alone doesn't indicate that a brand is premium. If you set a high price for a low quality product, it will only result in failure in your business. And apart from the quality dimension, companies support their brand with other aspects as well, such as an attractive and modern design, the packaging, and also the superior post-sale and customer service. The ultimate goal is for brands to meet or exceed the client's expectation, not only once, but for a sustainable period of time.
So you get more than just paying for it.
Yeah, you need to feel that you're getting the value. This 20% more that you're paying, you get in something that you don't get from someone else. Then the second ones are the low-cost brands, right? We are all very familiar with those. Those brands are the ones that put a low price as its selling point, and therefore, often they have low quality, even though some say that they don't. And then when you buy from them, you pay a small price and get a standard functionality or service, and you as a client won't expect the same level of service or quality that you get from a premium brand, as an example. But these brands, they are also very successful, and they have a very established market share as well. It becomes very interesting with the third category, because the third ones are the ones that are stuck in between being premium and low cost. They have this identity crisis.
Didn't make up their minds yet.
Exactly. They don't have a clear positioning. They create confusion on clients' minds, and even, within themselves. They just don't know how they should be positioned in the market. They are not perceived as having the quality of the premium and do not offer the price advantage of the low cost. And these brands, they really struggle in the long run. And in the business world, they will eventually try to reinvent themselves, or they will merge with another brand in an attempt to compete with the premium brand in the sector. And also, over time, they can become a target for acquisition from market leaders. So those are the three categories that I think.
No, that was a really good overview of all the three of them. But my question to you is then, which category does Securitas falls in? Premium, low cost, or are we stuck in between?
Okay, let me revert this question to you. What do you think? Which category do you think we fall in?
I think we want to be premium. Is that correct?
I mean, of course, that's very correct, and that's our ambition. We want to be perceived as a premium brand in the security sector. Yes, we offer the best products. We have the best solutions and services in the market, but the problem we are facing was we were not being perceived as such. Clients were starting to ask us, why should I pay premium price for you since I don't see any difference between you and your competitors? And as the saying goes, the client is always right.
That's true.
The whole security sector basically communicates and expresses themselves in a very similar way. If you're just on the surface, there are very few obvious differences between us and our direct global competitors. We are all offering a similar mix of services to clients, man guarding, remote guarding, fire and safety, risk, professional services, even cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. We are all operating across multiple sectors and industry verticals and markets. We are all investing in technology to broaden our capabilities and our offering. And communication-wise, we all had a very similar tone of voice and visual identity. And I'm happy we fixed this part now in last March. So no wonder clients were confused, and that was one of the biggest challenges that we had. We've been evolving as a business over the last 30 years, but our brand did not evolve at the same pace as the business evolved. And that's where the opportunity for creating differentiation started with our brand.
Yes. What a journey.
No, it's been a very interesting journey, and I'm also aware that in the industry and maybe even within Securitas, the term brand or branding might not be so widely understood, because for a lot of people, a brand is just the logotype, or the color palette, or even the PowerPoint template. I mean, everybody loves their PowerPoint templates, right? But a brand is way more than that. There are many definitions of what a brand means. For some, a brand is a promise. For some, is a collection of equities. Or as Jeff Bezos from Amazon says, a brand is what people say about you when you leave the room.
Wow, that's powerful.
So it's about perception. It's not about what we say we are. It's about what our clients say we are.
Wow, that's so powerful. Everything just now. We're going to take a little pause now for our first break, and we'll be back soon. You're listening to Connecting the Dots.
Did you know that the practice of branding is thought to have begun with the ancient Egyptians? It all started with the need to differentiate one person's cattle from another's. The term was then extended to mean a strategic personality for a product or company. Securitas is not that old. We were founded in 1934, and on March 10, 2021, we launched a major update to our global brand identity. The new brand highlights our company's human, progressive, and innovative approach to security.
And we're back. We have already talked about different types of brands in the market and that our brand needed to catch up a little bit with our business evolution. But Mauro, what does make our brand? What is the Securitas brand made of?
Again, very good question, Marina. I think to me, our brand is the sum of everything we do. It's the combination of our logotype, our visual identity, our products, services, solutions, our stories, our client services, and most importantly, how our people act and behave. From how we answer the phone to how we interact when we meet our clients, or even how we behave on social media or other digital channels, because of the nature of our business, our people has a stronger impact on our brand than any press release, advertisement, or billboard that we publish anywhere. Without our people, Securitas is just a name. It isn't a brand. And a name becomes a brand when people associate it with other things. What do people feel when they see our logotype? When they see our 3 red dots. If we don't communicate clearly who we are and what we stand for, then others will do it for us. Positive or negative associations. And in this digital, hyper-connected world where everyone has a voice, a strong brand is more important than ever. It helps us to improve differentiation.
And that's the way we want to go, obviously.
Absolutely. I will give an example. If a client is looking for a new security solution for his or her small business, how will they choose? There are a number of websites that will list the products and the cameras, specs, side by side. Which one is best? When a client realizes that the offering are all similar, they will tend to focus on the price. Unless, of course, they come across a brand that means something for them. A brand that they know, a brand that they trust, a brand that they know what they stand for, a brand that will give them the quality and peace of mind when their purchase is completed. A brand that will make them feel safe and feel that they made a good investment.
Yeah, this whole feeling is so human too. So I can only bet that this has a big impact in recruitment too, right?
I mean, again, you are spot on because on top of all of this, strong brands also help to attract and retain employees. With millennials becoming the majority of the workforce and Gen Zs starting to get their first jobs, they want to work for companies with positive brands, companies that are doing something good to the world. And I think we have a very strong case to attract them to join us, right? We are a company that's helping to make the world a safer place. And millennials who work for these companies, they feel more accomplished, more than employees. They feel that they are contributors to a good cause. And that's why purpose-driven companies also create better relations with their clients. And large global clients are demanding more and more that their staff suppliers, like ourselves, show that they also care about the world, about their staff, and are working to improve people's lives and the world around us. So it becomes way bigger than ever before.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a millennial, and I'm here, so that says something. But for me, I see this as future-proofing, really, because we not only have to be relevant to the employees and clients we have right now, we also have to accommodate the needs of the future ones. And I don't want to speak for all the millennials, but I did do some research, and according to Forbes, millennials will represent nearly 75% of the workforce by 2030. 2030 is right here. So this is, again, following that future proofing thing, that we're getting there for the new employees to come. And 83% of millennials and Gen Zs report being actively engaged when their organization fosters an inclusive work environment, working towards making the world a safer place. And isn't that what we're doing? So I think this just proves the case, right? But now if we can summarize what we just talked about, what type of company or brand do we want to be?
Okay, let me see how I can summarize this. I think first of all, we want to be a purpose-led brand. A company where people will feel proud and passionate to work for. And of course, this passion has to be passed on to our clients around the world. We also want to be a people brand, a company with responsible people, great teams, and lots of opportunities for development. We want to be the best employer in the industry.
The best.
The best. That's the bar that we want. And as I mentioned before, we want to be a premium brand, a company with a leading reputation as the result of our client focus, our high quality, our constant innovation, our thought leadership, and most importantly, all the great people that we have around the world. I think during the spring, we did the first step in reinforcing the perception of Securitas as a premium people purpose-led brand. We have now a more modern look and feel, rejuvenated digital presence. And we also launched the communications concept of See a Different World. And with that, we have started to redefine and humanize and modernize our Securitas brand and lead the way in the industry. I think this is the first step, but of course, there's much more to be done.
That's awesome work. And I mean, I guess I'm speaking for everyone who is listening now that we are super curious to know then, where are we now? What are the next steps? Tell us everything you can.
Of course. The next step, we of course want to communicate our new brand positioning, not only internally, but also to external target groups, mainly clients. However, in order to do this successfully and with the required consistency and cohesion, we need to apply the new brand concept in all levels and key areas of the business. Okay, but the good news is that this work has already started. And although all of our business areas will require guidance, two areas have been identified as being in particular need of attention right now: solutions and recruitment. When it comes to solutions, everybody in the company is talking about solutions right now. It's super important. We have very ambitious targets. We want to double the sales of solutions by 2023. And with this brand work, our ultimate goal is to help to sell more solutions to our clients and make sure that our positioning on solutions is much more different than from our competitors. And then the second area is recruitment.
Like we just talked about.
Exactly. We know how recruitment is important for Securitas. We know how many thousands of people we recruit every year. But most importantly, it's not only about attracting talent to join us or attracting a different type of talent to join us. We also want people to stay longer with us. So what are the key things that to make people stay? And that's another area that we're putting a lot of work and effort right now. This work stream is, as I mentioned, is already ongoing, and we will have much more news to share after the summer holidays. I hope you guys can wait for this a little bit longer.
We can wait. But thank you so much, Mauro, for this overview. I mean, this is really cool to get a little bit of a dive in and like what are the next steps to come when it comes to the work we've been doing with the brand. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know this was a lot of info to take in, but I hope it was interesting to you and to everybody listening.
I'm sure it was. As we are reaching to the end of this episode, we're going to finish with a little game. Or, beware of the game. Let's have a little connection game. So it's very simple. I'm going to tell you 3 random words and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you listen to these words. It can be a memory, it can be a person, place, a movie, etc.
Okay, let's try.
Okay, first word, Super Bowl.
Go Bills.
That's all. First thing that comes to mind. Okay, inevitable.
Change.
Okay, I like that. I like that one. What about box? A box.
A box. PS5.
PS5. Why?
Because you can't find anywhere. I mean, I don't know how are in different parts of the world, but I mean, at least here in Sweden, I mean, it was launched almost 1 year ago, and we can't find the thing anywhere.
Haven't
So
seen.
yeah, I'm still hoping that at some point, I will have my box with my PS5 inside and play lots of games.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Mauro, thank you so much for joining us in this very first podcast of Connecting the Dots. It was such an honor to be here with you chatting.
It was my pleasure. Thanks, Marina.
Thank you. And bye to everyone that was listening to us. Hope you like this too.